There was a time when I explained everything, every pause, every boundary, every choice that didn't look productive, ambitious, or socially acceptable enough. I explained because I didn't want to be misunderstood. I explained because I didn't want to disappoint anyone. I explained because somewhere along the way, I learned that existing quietly wasn't enough. It needed justification. But over time, something shifted. Not all at once, not dramatically, just slowly, in small moments where I realized how tired I was of defending my own needs. This isn't a list of things I stopped caring about. It's a list of things I stopped over-explaining. And maybe you'll recognize some of them in yourself too. I used to panic when my phone rang. Not because I didn't like the person calling, but because I felt I owed them an immediate response. If I missed the call, my mind would start racing. What excuse should I give? Should I call back right away? Do I need to explain why I didn't pick up? So I did. I explained that I was busy, that I was in the middle of something, that I didn't see the call, that I'd call back soon. Even when the truth was simpler, I just didn't have the energy to talk. Declining a call doesn't mean I don't care. It doesn't mean I'm ignoring someone. It doesn't mean I value them less. Sometimes it just means my mind is full, my body is tired, or my heart needs quiet. I have learned that I don't owe anyone access to me at all times. Availability is not a measure of love or loyalty, and silence is not disrespect. Now, when I decline a call, I don't rush to explain. I don't scramble for reasons that sound acceptable. I trust that my need for space is reason enough. And if that makes someone uncomfortable, that discomfort isn't mine to carry anymore. Rest used to come with guilt, heavy, constant guilt. If I rested, I felt lazy. If I sat still, I felt unproductive. And if I did nothing, I felt like I was falling behind. So when I rested, I explained, I've been working a lot. I didn't sleep well last night. I'll get back to it later. As if rest needed to be justified. As if slowing down was something I had to earn. But here's what I've learned. Rest is not a reward. It's not something you deserve only after exhaustion. It's not a weakness or a lack of ambition. Rest is maintenance. We don't explain why we charge our phones. We don't justify why we sleep at night. So why do we feel the need to explain why we're resting? I stopped explaining my rest when I realized how deeply ingrained the guilt was and how unfair it felt to myself. Now when I rest, I don't add context. I don't overshare. I don't soften with apologies. I rest because I'm human, because my nervous system needs it, because I deserve peace even when I haven't done enough, and so do you. For a long time, comfort felt like something I had to outgrow. Comfortable clothes were seen as lazy. Comfortable routines were seen as boring. Comfortable choices were often labeled as playing it safe. So when I chose comfort, I explained. I explained why I wore what I wore, why I stayed home, why I didn't push myself harder, why I chose ease over effort. But here's the truth. Choosing comfort is not choosing weakness. Comfort can be grounding, can be healing, can be what allows us to keep going without breaking. I stopped explaining my need for comfort when I realized how often I had prioritized appearances over well-being. How often I had ignored my body just to meet unspoken expectations. Today, I choose the chair that supports my back, the clothes that don't make me feel restricted, the pace that doesn't leave me breathless. Comfort doesn't mean I lack depth or ambition. It means I respect my limits. It means I'm listening to myself, and I no longer explain that to anyone. Saying no used to feel like a full-time job. Not the word itself, but everything that came after it. The explanations, the justifications, the reassurance that I wasn't being selfish or difficult or ungrateful. I would love to, but I can't this time because maybe next time. I wrapped my no in so many soft edges that it barely sounded like a no at all. Why? Because I was afraid of disappointing people, afraid of being misunderstood, afraid of being seen as someone who doesn't try hard enough. But saying no is not a character flaw. Saying no is clarity. It's honesty. It's choosing alignment over obligation. I stopped explaining my no when I realized how much energy it took me to make everyone else comfortable at my own expense. Now, when I say no, I let it be complete. When you stop explaining yourself, something unexpected happens. Your mind gets quieter. Your decisions get clearer. Your energy comes back to you. You start to notice how much of your exhaustion wasn't from doing too much, but from defending yourself constantly. Explaining is not always wrong. Sometimes it's necessary. Sometimes it's kind. Sometimes it builds connection. But over-explaining, especially to justify your basic needs, slowly teaches you that your instincts aren't enough on their own. And they are. You don't need a compelling argument to rest. You don't need permission to choose comfort. You don't need a story to support your no. You don't need to explain why you didn't answer the phone. Your needs don't need to make sense to everyone else to be valid. If you're still in the phase of explaining everything, be gentle with yourself. This unlearning takes time. You might still over-explain sometimes. You might still feel guilty. You might still catch yourself justifying things you don't need to justify. That doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're becoming aware. And awareness is where change begins. One day you'll pause before explaining and choose silence instead. One day you'll say no and not follow it with an apology. One day you'll rest without narrating why. And it will feel uncomfortable at first. But then it will feel freeing.